So this recent Pokemon Direct gave me some thoughts about the whole entire Pokemon series as a whole. I mean, aside from the fact that everyone's getting thirsty over Sonia, even though she looks like the most generic redhead ever. I still don't fucking understand that. I started to think to myself, looking back at what Pokemon did for me, and looking back at the things I liked about Pokemon, and for some reason, I thought about Team Rocket. And when I thought about Team Rocket, strangely enough, I just thought about Pokemon Black and White. Specifically the BW anime. I'm just gonna call it BW because I don't want to keep saying Black and White over and over again, but, beside the point. And I remember, just looking back, the BW anime wasn't really that great, but at the same time I didn't really hate it that much. I mean, it was somewhat compelling, but it wasn't really that good either. But here's the thing. There were some things that I remembered from watching the BW anime when I was 11, right? And the one particular thing I remember the most was Team Rocket. Specifically, these three in the Black and White anime. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, what's so special about them, right? Like, they're literally the same trio. Jessie, James, and Meowth. They show up in every season of Pokemon, and they're nothing special. So why this one? Well, here's the thing. I'd like to tell you right now, but I think I gotta give you some, good background and, knowledge to, further my claim, So I'm gonna do exactly that. So going back, all the way to, the 99 anime of Pokemon, we got introduced to the deadly trio. Well, not really deadly, the funny comic relief villainous trio that was Jessie, James, and Meowth. Not just any Meowth, the Team Rocket Meowth, the talking Meowth. All amazing and great characters. But, they were just played off to be your average comic relief Saturday morning villain of the week villains, whatever. Villains that you don't take seriously because you can't take them seriously. They always scheme to steal either Pikachu or some Pokemon that just happens to be there, and Ash and the gang, with the power of friendship, they just fucking stop them, and then they're blasting off again, and they come back and do the same thing over and over again. So nothing special about that, right? Well, here's the thing though. There was always a charm to these three that I always acknowledged and liked about them. Because here's the thing. They always returned. No matter what. They always returned. So, if you're gonna have these characters, just these reoccurring characters come back over and over and over again, the least you could do is at least give them, much deeper character writing. And that's exactly what they did, Jessie, James, and Meowth weren't just your comic relief villains. They were special characters. Hell, I'd even admit that they were probably better protagonists than the actual main protagonists of Pokemon seasons. Hell, if there was just a straight-up Team Rocket anime with these three, I'd fucking go on board with that shit. I'd watch that in a heartbeat. I have no problem saying that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would agree with me on that, because these three are just this lovable. These three are just more than just funny, joking villains. They're actual characters. Seeing Meowth leave Team Rocket because he didn't feel appreciated. Seeing Jessie release her Dustox so, it could live a happy life with another Dustox. She fucking pulled an Ash Ketchum there, but, beside the point. Seeing Jessie also, remembering her Chansey when she went to nursing school and all that shit. It's all just really cute fucking stuff. It's all, nice and wholesome shit. It makes these characters seem, more real. And it makes you want to learn about them more. Right? Because these three, sure, they're pretty huge fuck-ups, and, they're not perfect. But I love them, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people love them. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, well, what does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with the Black and White anime? Well, here's the thing, though, right? Because I remember specifically seeing a much more different take, a specific iteration of Team Rocket in the Black and White anime that I actually remembered liking and thinking was pretty cool. And I'm sure that a lot of you know what I'm talking about, but for those who don't know, I'm talking about, badass Team Rocket. This Team Rocket. What, not just the fact that they were black, but the fact that they were actually competent. They would carry out plans, do schemes, go on literal covert ops, and succeed in like devious schemes. Like they were actually becoming a dangerous criminal threat. And that was cool. Like that was different because like it's not something you'd expect, right? Like it's not something you expect from these three especially. You know, these three who always fuck up. These three who like are always blasting off again. You wouldn't expect that, right? But we got that, at least for a short moment. And it was nice, you know, like it wasn't that bad. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, you know, what happened to this Team Rocket? Like, you know, how come it's not there anymore? How come, you know, like they went from shit, let me just think for a second. You know, how come they went from denouncing the evils of truth and love to extending their reach to the stars above, Meowth, that's right, to literal fucking Solid Snake, Sam Fisher fucking shit. You know? And where did that go? Where did that shit go? So apparently, and I think I got the answer for that. So apparently, according to some dude on Reddit, or just some articles in general from I saw, this was actually a part of a bigger scheme, like a bigger plot line. You see, the writers had this in mind where they would make this more dangerous and covert-looking Team Rocket threat to, like, sort of go into this dynamic plot line in which it would feed into, like, this weird two-part episodes series battle thing where Team Rocket would face Team Plasma and actually, like, battle them and, like, take them down. Like, fucking a literal gang war, right? And that sounds cool as shit. That sounds, like, awesome. But it never happened. And I think the two factors were, like, you know, something about, like, the tsunami incident that also happened in, like, 2011. And just in general, like, Black and White's anime reception, like, it wasn't really that great. So I guess they didn't see any reason to just continue on with that, like, plot line. So, you know, Jesse, James, and Meowth went back to being just, you know, casual comic relief and blasting off again. But, you know, it makes me think, like, if we actually did get that, like, would that have been the best iteration of Team Rocket to this day? And like, don't get me wrong, right? Like, 'cause, like, I still like Team Rocket. Don't get me wrong. And in fact, from what I've seen, like, in Sun and Moon, at least from tidbits and shit, they don't seem that bad. They actually seem, like, fairly funny and, like, if not better than, like, previous iterations. But, you know, I will miss the competent the competent Team Rocket arc. That, you know, the actual competent crew that were an actual dangerous threat. But, you know, at the end of the day, I guess it's not that big of a deal because it doesn't matter who they are. I'll always accept who they are, no matter what, because they always have a special place in my heart. And yeah, I don't know. I just want to talk about this. So, bye. Side note, Jesse, top tier baddie. Like, ooh.